This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream... Hello everybody, and welcome back. Right, the horses, I have always maintained that the horses will always guide where this channel goes. You know, if there is an opportunity, then we will try and take it. Australian 2-year-olds, I feel there might be an opportunity here for a while. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and identify some decent Australian 2-year-olds ahead of the leading 2-year-old end of season Australian races. For those that don't know, Australian racing works on a different calendar to us. Their year starts on August the 1st and ends on July the 31st. So we're in fact sort of halfway through their season. What they tend to do is they tend to race quite a lot around the time of the Melbourne Cup, and then they have towards the end of the English turf season, October time, September, October, November time. Then they have a break, and then they come back around January, around February, March and April time. You know, I mean, and we've got a race, the big 2-year-old races. So they sort of have a lot of trials from races like the Blue Diamond and the Golden Slipper, and then we're up to the mile races like the JJ Adkins Plate and other races like the Sire's Produce. And that leads us nicely on to the first half of next season, you know, which will be sort of August 2023. When these 2-year-olds will become 3 and then go for the early Guineas and Classics, leading us up to around November, December, January time. And then we just repeat the process next year, all things being equal. So I'm going to try and keep a track on some Aussie 2-year-olds, get a few Aussie 2-year-olds out there, all in good time for these races. You know, there's a very quick turnover in Australia. It's not uncommon for horses to race a lot more often than they race in Europe. And why wouldn't you? For the excellent prize money that is on offer out in Australia. Right, so without further ado, by the miracles of science, I will be back shortly and we will take a look at the first identified Australian 2-year-old of 2023. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello. Hello everybody, and welcome back. Another Australian 2-year-old for you this year today, and we are going to try and stay away from the big bully boy breeders Coolmore and Godolphin and bring you a third horse which I actually identified 2 days ago. So this one really is hot off the press, the Newman press. Is there a better press worth watching? I'm not too sure there is, especially when it comes up with horses like this. Cafe Millenium. What a horse this could be. I mean, I've been on this pedigree a little while, in Australia once already with a bit of success. We will come to that later. But first we need to look at the John O'Shea train, Cafe Millenium, sired by Not a Single Doubt, out of a dam called Veloce Forte. You'll see that he's actually won his debut in the Piero Plate. A first time out debut win in a race of this nature is always going to sort of interest me, and we're now into this horse. Hopefully it will prove to be, that win will not be a flash in the pan. We'll look at the second dam, Veloce Forte. Again, these are owner breeders, you can see that, Cafe Millenium. Find more thoroughbreds, you'll see they also own the dam. Veloce Forte, sired by High Chaparral. That one only won 1 out of 4 races. You know, and it won a maiden race and then was never tried at pattern level. It won a maiden on its first start. Actually had more trials than it did race course appearances, which is a bit strange. Just realised that I've not actually got these lined up as I would like. So we will let that bit go on a bit off the camera. Veloce Forte, you will see, $20,000. Not really anything of note there as well on the track. The second dam also owned by the same connections out of Zabeel, by Silk Ending, an American bred horse, Gypsy Tucker. You will see that that one only managed to win 1 out of 3 starts as well. It won its maiden at Wyong and was another one that did not race in Putton Company. But what she did do is she bred Gypsy Diamond, who will also note the same connections as it was a 12-year-old bay mare by the same stallion, not a single down, as this horse here, Cafe Millenium. We had a bit more success with that, winning 4 of 27 races and over 700,000 Australian dollars. It won a couple of Group 2 races. It won the listed race there, the Phoenix. It won a Group 2 there, Moonee Valley Classic of 2013. And it also won the Group 3 Carbine Club Oaks, I think that race is called, I'm not sure, of 2014 at Randwick, before being placed at Group 1 level behind Diamond Drill in the 2014 Queen of the Turf, also at Randwick. It then was brought back for another year after that, managing to win again at Group 3 level in the JRA plate in 2015 at Randwick. So it had some good wins, you know, at Pat race level, and it was also Group 1 placed, Gypsy Diamond. Unfortunately, she hasn't bred anything as of yet. And the other Australian horse I've been sort of involved in with this pedigree was a Finance Tycoon, foaled in 2018. Very nice horse. It won 4 out of 9 starts and nearly $1 million Australian dollars. You'll see there that Silk Ending is also the second dam of Finance Tycoon, as well as the third dam. Silk Ending, you see, is the third dam of this horse. Finance Tycoon was retired to stud. Fantastic to see that. Said it won 4 out of 10 races according to these. You'll see that it did win the Maribyrnong Plate at Group 3 on only its second start. It then also won the Vobis Showdown, a £1 million race at Caulfield. Remember the day that one? Did I cheer? What do you think? The 2021 Vobis Showdown of Caulfield. And then it also won a Group 3 Zeditabe Stakes back at Caulfield in February 2022. A superb horse, I'm sure you will agree. It certainly did us proud, and these people have it as standing at Glen Eden Stud from 2022. People will see that the horse Cafe Millenium is from family 4G. We've got ready back to Silk Ending, the third dam, foaled in 1997. You see there's a couple more American dams, including a very influential 5th dam, which is why I selected the horse. This is Silk Ending, winner of one of 4 starts in her American career. A win at Beulah Park. I'd be lying if I said I knew where that track is. The 4th dam, Silk Lily, foaled in 1976, is down as not racing in America on Equibase. We'll just have a little click on that. That is also saying that she is unraced, so we will believe it. And it is then when we come to the 5th dam, a Canadian bred from 1961 called Chiboulette, winner of 14 of her 33 races. You will see what stakes races. She won the Duchess Stakes, the Maple Leaf Stakes, the Princess Elizabeth Stakes, and the Shady Well Stakes. This is back in the day when, believe it or not, Canadian racing was the equal of American racing. There's no other word for it, if not superior. I mean, look where Secretariat and Northern Dancer were bred. You know, people can underestimate Canadian racing at their peril. The Americans have done a very good job in diminishing Canadian racing, it's fair to say. Back in the 40s, 50s, 60s and 70s, Canadian racing was the equal of American racing, without any shadow of a doubt. Chiboulette, we see there, a 4-time stakes winner in 1963 and 1964. But it was in the paddock, really, where she excelled. I mean, we're going to take a look at the long distance thing now quickly on 4G. I mean, you'll see there that some of these horses we're going to take a look at in a minute. You see there that Chiboulette is there, a filly in 1961. The one below her, equally influential, Fran Fraluca, winner of 11 of her 21 starts and over $238,000 American dollars in 1970. A lot of money. The 1970 Horse of the Year, the 3-year-old champion filly of 1970 as well. You'll see the results there. She won the Benson & Hedges Invitational Handicap at Woodbine in 1970 and also won the Quebec Derby. She went to America to win the Alabama Stakes. She won the Bison City Stakes at Fort Erie, the Manitoba Centennial Derby at Assiniboia, the Selene Stakes at Woodbine, and the Natalma Stakes, and the Princess Elizabeth Stakes, and the Fleur de Lis Stakes at Blue Bonnets and Woodbine, 1969 and 1970. But again, really, it was in the shed that she excelled herself even more than that. She's the dam of L'Angeleur, foaled in 1972 by Buck Passer, side by Buck Passer, winner of 15 of 30 races, another Ontario bred, L'Angeleur. The 1975 Horse of the Year and the Eclipse Award 1974 Horse of the Year. Let me check that for Chiboulette. I've only just seen that tab. Chiboulette was the high-weight filly of 1963, second. L'Angeleur, you'll see a superb winner there of the Group 1 Laurel Futurity in 1974, as well as other stakes races there, mainly at Woodbine, Fort Erie, Assiniboia. That one there at Laurel Park. Not sure whether that's in America or Canada. You'll see L'Angeleur, a superb horse and stallion, and also a horse like D'accord in 1979, sired by the great Secretariat, winner of 5 of his 10 races, including the Group 2 Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland in 1981, 4th in the Bluegrass of 1982, and the Fountain of Youth of 1982 as well. A very good horse, D'accord was, in his own right. There's plenty of horses on this line. We found some stallions on this line as well when we looked at 4G. We've got to start really with Night Shift. It's actually out of Chiboulette. Chiboulette is the dam of this. This one's side by another fantastic Canadian horse, Northern Dancer. You see, they're all Canadian breds. Look around this time. In the Arctic as well, was Canadian bred. Night Shift sired a lot of stakes winners. He might not have been as good on the track as some of the others. I think he sired something around 80 stakes winners. Night Shift, also out of Chiboulet. Flying Spur in Australia sired over 90 stakes winners. Winner of the Golden Slipper, the Australian Guineas, the All-Age Stakes, the Peter Pan Stakes, and the Blue Diamond Prelude. Really did win some fantastic races. A champion sire. And you'll see that Fran Freluk and Chiboulet are the third and the fourth dam of Flying Spur. And again, Grand Luxy is there. And I think that one was also in the pedigree of Finance Tycoon as well. The next one is Holy Roman Emperor. I mean, I had no idea this horse was on this pedigree. Holy Roman Empire won the Dewhurst. It won the Guadalupe Lagardère and the Phoenix. Never raced at 3. Winner of the Grade 2 Railway Stakes. A champion European 2-year-old. There's some there as well, you see. Some other horses that are good. Like I was about to say, this was the horse that was deprived of a 3-year-old campaign when George Washington was deemed to have been found infertile. So he studied Australia and Brazil, all over the place. Holy Roman Emperor, very good horse indeed. At 2, you'll see there, never knew that Secretariat was the dam sire of Holy Roman Empire. A very well bred horse. You can see there that Fran Freluk and Chiboulet are the second and the third dam of Holy Roman Empire. And then I chucked one in for good measure that I found, Kalaev as well. Winner of 3 of his 9 starts, sire of around 30 stakes winners. He won 2 Group 3s. He won the Norfolk Stakes at 2 and the Jersey Stakes at 3. Sadly passed away in 2021. You'll see there that Fran Freluk and Chiboulet are the third and the fourth dam of this horse as well. But best have a look at the 5th dam, Windy Answer. Because this can easily be the Windy Answer line, not the Chiboulet line. I've always stopped at Chiboulet. But look at Windy Answer. Winner of 10 of her 21 races. Another multiple stakes winner. Winner of the Maple Leaf Stakes, the Starshoot Stakes, the Heresy Stakes. Track is unknown. Equibase, the leading American database, do not know where these horses are raced. We know obviously from looking at previous horses on the line who won the same race. Same races that they're at Woodbine, Lake Erie and places like that. Let's have a secret answer. Windy Answer, sorry. Multiple winners of the same races. The Selene, the Heresy, the Nassau, the Woodbine Oak, second. Maple Leaf Stakes. A lot of these races were just milked by this line. You see there, look. Princess Elizabeth Stakes. The Maple Leaf Stakes there was won by Chiboulet. Fran Freluk. Won them all pretty much. Selene Stakes. Natalma, Princess Elizabeth, Fleur de Lis. What a family of horses in Canada. Destroyed racing. 30 years nearly. That was the 5th dam was winning in 1958. And if we go further back to a horse like Windy Answer, it brings in a couple of Japanese horses that we looked at. They didn't really do anything in stud. Japanese 2,000 guineas winner, Genuine. I think side 1 Group 1 winner in Japan. And the St Leger winner there of 2007, Asakusa Kings. Only side a couple of stakes winners in Japan. There's also a couple of Swedish and Swiss classic winners on the line as well. One of them, funnily enough, sired by Holy Roman Emperor, called the Act. It was a very well-bred horse, that is. Not at all interbred, is it? Holy Roman Emperor's only there. Sired horses there. Very interbred horse, but a very good one. Won the Swiss Guineas of 2012. Right, I'm going to close down a couple of these extra cabs now, just to speed things up a bit. Just still got the dams all up. We don't really need Gypsy Diamond anymore. But now what we're going to do is that we're just going to ease the processor a bit so we might not get any buffering when we go and look at the English Diamond, which we're about to do now. Courtesy of Sky Racing in Australia. Nothing to do with racing TV, which would say exactly the same place where we get all our UK videos. And this is why this race will not be flagged at all. We've covered 2 US Australian races already in this fashion. No copyright strikes at all. Exactly how it should be when we look at UK racing. But this is a scintillating performance, no doubt about it. This is incredible. Cafe Millenium, ladies and gentlemen.
My favourite. Ready? Racing. He's jumped out in the second half of the field, Don Corleone, and being ridden up as well. Chevron jumped well together with Remedies, and they fight out the early lead. Empress of Wonder away well, moving up in the outside of Bonding. Length and a half to Razors, racing a bit light-mouthed on the inside of High King. And Don Corleone's going along the rails into third last position in advance of Roussillon. Cafe Millenium's pulling hard back at the tail of the field. So Chevron leads at the 600 by 2 lengths on Remedies, 2 off to Bonding. Empress of Wonder, High King the outside. Don Corleone's in a tricky spot at the moment as they come around the turn. Chevron leads by 3 now on Remedies. Bonding shifting ground, so Don Corleone's got a stack of room to go through on the inside now. Empress of Wonder being shoved along and hiking the outside. Chevron just the leader now from Remedies, and Don Corleone being stoked up between them running on. Empress of Wonder well the outside. Remedies still in front. Don's under immense pressure. Empress of Wonder the outside, and Cafe Millenium from last. Remedies in front, but Cafe Millenium gobbled it up. Big win, big debut. Cafe Millenium knocked off Remedies. Empress of Wonder third, and they left the money in the bag with the Don today. Don Corleone labouring fourth, followed by Bonding, Razors. Then came Roussillon, Chevron, and High King.
Massive win. I mean, I've watched this horse race once at 1:20 in the morning, and I never noticed how big it was. The horse is massive. Last to first. I mean, we're going to take another look at that. Tom Marquand, has he ever ridden a better bred horse than this? And he's had to go all the way to Australia to do it. What a funny world.
Shoved along and hiking the outside. Chevron just the leader now from Remedies, and Don Corleone being stoked up between them running on. Empress of Wonder well the outside. Remedies still in front. Don's under immense pressure. Empress of Wonder the outside, and Cafe Millenium from last. Remedies in front, but Cafe Millenium gobbled it up. Big win, big debut. Cafe Millenium knocked off Remedies. Empress of Wonder third, and they left the money in the bag with the Don today. Don Corleone.
They left their money in the bag. You've got to love Australian commentators. One of the reasons why I fell in love with Australian racing is just such a slick product. You know, there's races where you get 15 or 20 pattern races a day, 6 or 7 hours. Good racing non-stop, 5 or 6 hours. Top commentary. The races are all accessible. You know, I found racing Australia easily enough to find the form of all the horses I needed to find. You know, but here you've had to use a few sites. But what a performance by Cafe Millenium that was. I mean, hopefully, who knows what the horse has in prospect for us moving forward. But one thing is for certain, I cannot wait to see what it is. All right, I'm going to leave the video here now, ladies and gentlemen. I need to go and sit down in a dark room after going over this horse again. What an incredible horse I found here. Absolute pleasure to be able to bring it to you. I need to go and sit down in a dark room. What I will do at the end of the video is leave a couple of steers, one allowing you to subscribe to the channel if you're that way inclined, so you don't miss any of the horses, any of the content. They can be Australian horses, national hunt horses, classic horses, Twitch live streams, YouTube live streams, things I find interesting. I mean, who would not want to miss that? And also, what I will do is I will give you a link to the playlist of this horse, of the Australian playlist. But like I said, this is only the third. So, but we are doing quite well. This is the third in the matter of less than a month. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave the video there. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Thank you very much for watching all the videos. And I will hope to be back soon with something else of interest in the near future. Take care, everybody.